Hey Mountain Beachers, today we want to talk to you about finding the perfect campsite for you and your RV. Stay tuned. Okay, so welcome back Mountain Beachers. Today is all about finding that perfect campsite for both you and your RV because they might be different. Depending on the type of rig you have and where you're going, there's all sorts of variables that need to be considered. The first thing you need to do and think about is, what is your camping style? Do you like to stay at an RV park with all the hookups and the amenities of a swimming pool and a clubhouse, a playground for the kids, or whatever it might be? Is that your style? Or do you prefer a national forest site or national park, and oftentimes no hookups or maybe partial hookups? Maybe out boondocking on BLM land. Maybe you have your own property and you just like to take your rig out and park it on your own property and stay there. That's another great option. A lot of people do that. Corps of Engineer campgrounds. We haven't ever stayed at one yet, but it's on our list. Harvest Host. Another great option. Is that what you want to do? There's so many different options, so many different things to consider. So let's get into this and see what fits your needs and what you can do to find that perfect site. Our personal style of camping is at a forest campground. We really like those. We love national parks as well. They're hard to get into. So most of the time we end up going to a national forest campground or maybe a state park. And we usually don't end up having hookups, but we're totally fine with that. In fact, that's our preference. We don't need hookups. We don't care about having hookups. So those are great for us. We love them. But there's some things to consider when you go there. First of all, you need to realize what is your overall length. Not just your tow rig, but your tow rig plus your tow vehicle, or the length of your coach, motorhome, if that's what you have, Class A, Class B, Class C. Know the length so that when you're selecting a site, maybe you're online looking, you know the right site to pick. You're not picking one that isn't going to fit you and your tow vehicle. So that's number one. Know the length of your vehicle and then pick a site according to that. What are your power needs? Do you need 50 amp or 30 amp? Or maybe you don't need anything. We usually prefer not to have power, so we don't care about that. Our fifth wheel has a 30 amp circuit, so we need, if we're going to camp somewhere, that's what we're looking for if we're looking for hookups. So know what your rig needs and look for those sites as well. Again, what do you value most? Do you need those hookups so you can take that long hot shower every morning? Do you need the power? Do you need the sewer connection, the water connection? Maybe you just need water. Maybe you want water and electricity. Maybe you don't need any of it, but you need to figure out what's right for you. And then look for those sites that have those amenities that are important to you. So then the next thing that you want to be aware of is there's different types of campsites. There are pull-throughs and there are back-ends. Do you have mad skills in backing, where you back up your 40-foot fifth wheel toy hauler into a tight spot? Then maybe you are okay with the back end. Or maybe you would prefer a pull-through. What's the difference? Well, a pull-through is, think of a circular driveway where you come in one way, you park, you camp, you stay there, and then you just continue on out when you're ready to leave. The advantage of those is they're so easy to get in and out of. The disadvantage is they usually tend to be right on the road, a little noisier, and not quite as beautiful as other sites that you might be able to get into. So then that brings us to the back-end sites. Back-end sites, you need to be able to have skills to back in, and things that are helpful for that, if you have someone with you, is walkie-talkies, where one person can be standing behind the rig and giving instructions to the driver. 10 feet, 5 feet, watch out, stop, a rock, further to the left, further to the right. All those instructions are important and helpful in positioning your rig as you're backing into that campsite. The other thing about a back-in is that oftentimes they are quieter and they tend to be a little bit more secluded and a little bit more out in nature. We have a 31-foot fifth wheel trailer, and I like to think I have good backing skills, and we usually try and find a back-in site that is long enough for our trailer and our pickup truck to get in adequately. But there's one other important thing you need to think about when you're looking at the sites. Don't just pick the site that you think is the best, analyze it. Which direction do you pull in? Which direction is the campsite on relative to your rig backing in? You want to make sure that the campsite, with the table and the campfire, you want to make sure that is on the same side as your awning, your door that you exit out of your coach. Once you exit your coach, you want to go into your campsite. You don't want to then have to go all the way around. We've made that mistake before. We found the perfect campsite right on a little stream in a national forest campground in Idaho. Beautiful, beautiful spot, great fishing. We were surprised that this beautiful site was available. We backed in, we got level, we unhooked, and then we realized as we were unloading the trailer that our door was on the wrong side of the campsite, or more accurately, the campsite was on the wrong side of the back end. They had made it backwards. We didn't even think about that until it was too late. We ended up staying there, and yeah, it was a bit of a hassle, but we still enjoyed being right on the creek, and it was a very secluded site. So it all worked out, but that's something to think of when you're looking at a site for the first time. So a few tips that we might have for you. First of all, think about picking a site that is at the end of the road, the end of the row. Those will oftentimes be a little bit quieter, a little more secluded, a little more private. Just the site that everyone's looking for, right? And I already mentioned, make sure that the site is on your awning side of your rig, so that you walk out of your trailer and into your campsite, not your neighbor's campsite. Sometimes they're backwards. Maybe you're traveling with someone else and they have their rig, and you might consider getting a buddy site or a double site or a group site, and you can both park together and share the site and enjoy one another's company and experience the camping that way. There's many places that have group sites or what are known as double sites or buddy sites. Those are a perfect site to get when you're traveling with someone. Here's another tip that we like to do. Anytime we go to a campground, regardless of whether we think we might return or not, we like to walk the entire campground and then write down in a little book our top 3 campsites. So we'll label it with the campground, and then we'll list. Preference number 1 is campsite 12, and we'd list our top 3. That way, if and when we come back to that campground, we can look for those same sites. We can book those same sites. We can reserve those sites in advance because we're remembering that site 11 is a perfect back-end spot. It's secluded, it's long enough for our rig, whatever the criteria are, put it down in your book, and then you'll remember next time. Or if you are telling a friend about that site, you'll be able to tell them sites. Another tip is to go look on Campendium. Lots of great reviews from people just like you and me that have gone to a campground and then they've given a review, and they will often list the campsite number that they stayed in. So that's something to consider as well. Pay attention to how far in advance you can make your reservation for that particular campground. We're going to be going to a campground we love in Montana this summer. We went there 2 years ago. We wrote down our top 3 campsites, and we knew how far in advance we could book. And so we got up and we were on the website at the precise moment at 6 a.m. Eastern time when we could make our reservation, and boom, we made our reservation and we got the site we wanted for the time we wanted. But that doesn't just happen unless you think about it in advance and plan. These sites book up fast, and the best sites book up the quickest, so be ready. Know what you're up against and know that everybody else is out there trying to get the same site. So if you plan ahead, you can get it. You just need to figure out when you can get online and then be ready. and know the site you want, and then go for it. Another tip is to arrive on something other than a Friday or Saturday, but particularly a Friday. If you can arrive on a Sunday through Thursday, your chances go way up of being able to get that. So let's say you're going to go to a campground and you want site number 5, and you need to make that reservation online, but everybody else wants site 5 as well because it's the best site, right? How do you get that ahead of someone else? Well, a lot of people only can go for the weekend, and so they got to wait until Friday, say 6 months in advance. That Friday, 6 months in advance from when they want to go there, they have to wait for that date before they can book. Well, if you try and book that same site, say on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, you've got 2 days a head start on a lot of people that are looking to book it beginning on Friday. You can book it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever, and you get it because you've booked it in advance and you were able to ahead of them. So that's a tip to consider. So I hope today's video was helpful for you. Things to consider when looking for a campsite for you and your RV. Everybody's different. Everybody has different needs. First, figure out what your needs are. Know what the size of your rig is with your tow vehicle, if it's a tow behind trailer, fifth wheel. How much space you really need. What your power needs are, what your water needs are. And then know what your options are for making reservations. Those are our tips for today. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. And if you'd like to follow and see more of what we have to offer, then consider subscribing to our channel. We'd love to have you join us and join our mountain beachers. And we'll see you next week. Thanks a lot.